The enemy no one could stop, the stars were silent. But death was everywhere. Across the galaxy, screams echoed through empty space. Planet after planet went dark. No warning, no survivors. The Deathworld Alliance, once proud and feared, was now desperate. These were not normal worlds. These were Deathworld's planets, where life was tough, wild, and cruel. Only the strongest species lived there. Beasts, storms, poison skies. Nothing scared them, but now they were running. They were dying. The enemy came with no name, no face. They called it the Scourge. Black ships, smooth like glass, flew through space like ghosts. They made no sound. They sent no message. They attacked fast, destroyed everything, and left nothing behind. Entire fleets disappeared in minutes. No one could track them. No one could fight back. The strongest weapons meant nothing. General Kor, a battle-hardened leader of the Dravic species, stood in his war room. His skin was rough like stone, and his eyes burned like fire. But now he looked tired. The map in front of him showed red, too much red. Red meant lost worlds. Red meant dead soldiers. We are being erased, he said quietly, around him. Other leaders of the Alliance stood in silence. There was Threnna from the acid world of Goran. Her people breathed poison and walked on lava. She had lost half her army. Next to her was Lokin, leader of the Ice Hunters of Vril. His eyes were cold, but even he looked afraid. We are Deathworlders, Threnna said. How can this be happening? No one answered, because deep inside they knew this enemy was different. It was smarter, faster. Heartless Dud. Then came the final call. A small planet on the edge of the Alliance, named Tryon 7, sent a distress signal. It was weak, broken, full of static. But they all heard one thing, clearly a child's voice crying, "They are here, ... please help, ... Then silence. The fleet sent to Tryon 7 never returned. General Kor smashed his fist on the table. We are finished if we do not act now. But what could they do? Their best weapons were useless. Their best soldiers were dead. Their worlds were falling one by one. In a last act of hope, Kor gave a strange order. Send the signal, everywhere, every direction. Even the forgotten systems, maybe. Someone is still out there. But who? Lokin asked. We are the strongest. Kor looked at the stars. Maybe someone we forgot. Far away, on a quiet blue planet no one had spoken to in centuries, a signal blinked on a dusty old screen. A technician in a dark room stared at it, confused. He did not recognize the language, but the fear in the voice was clear. He called someone. That someone made another call. And slowly, across the earth, people began to listen. Earth was peaceful now. Too peaceful. The wars of the past were long gone. The defense systems were shut down. The great warships were hidden or broken. The soldiers had retired. The world had forgotten war. But now war had remembered Earth. One man, old and alone, heard the signal in a cold bunker deep under the mountains. His name was Captain Rex. He had fought in the old wars. He had seen things most could not understand. He had buried friends. He had buried enemies. But he had never buried his duty. When he heard the cry for help, he closed his eyes and whispered, "It has begun again." Captain Rex went to a room no one visited anymore. Inside, screens lit up. Maps of the stars appeared. Red dots showed fallen worlds. He zoomed out and saw the pattern. The Scourge was moving fast. It would reach Earth soon, but he was not afraid. He smiled just a little. Let them come. He opened a metal door. Dust filled the air. Behind it, something huge waited, silent, sleeping. Powerful, it was Earth's last warship. And it was not just a ship, it was alive. Asterisk. Earth, hears the cry far beneath the snowy mountains of northern Earth. The war bunker had been forgotten by most. Nature had tried to hide its dust. Vinespot, the signal had brought it back to life. Captain Rex stood alone in the cold chamber. Lights flickered on as ancient systems powered up. It had been over 100 years since the last time Earth prepared for war. But the moment he heard that broken voice from the stars, a child crying for help, he knew peace was over. He tapped a dusty panel. This is Captain Rex. Activate protocol, Skyfire. Across the bunker, machines groaned. Deep underground, gears turned. Doors that had not moved in decades unlocked with a hiss. And far below, something massive opened its eyes. In another part of Earth, Dr. Alina Mars, one of the last living engineers from Earth's Defense Corps, received the emergency code. Her lab had become a place for research and peace. But once, it had built weapons that could end stars. She looked at the code again. It was real. Skyfire was active. She whispered, Who, could have called this? The answer came quickly. Rex. She had not heard his name in 20 years. Last anyone knew, he vanished after the Lunar Rebellion. But now, he was back. And if he was back, Earth was in danger. She packed her tools and left without saying a word. In orbit, Earth's old satellite, GRID, buzzed to life. Hidden cameras, sensors, and stealth drones activated. Data flowed in. Every satellite pointed in the same direction. The outer edge of the galaxy. The data showed something terrifying. A black wave. It was not smoke, not shadow. It was a fleet, hundreds of ships, shaped like knives, moving without light, without heat. The Scourge. They were coming in a quiet military base buried under the African desert. A small group of retired soldiers gathered. Their eyes were old, but their hands were steady. They stared at the footage. Some cursed, some prayed, but one man said only 4 words. Bring back the Titan. And miles away, under layers of rock, steel, and code, the Titan IX began to wake. The Titan IX was not like other warships. It was not just metal and wires. It was built with something forbidden. It had a brain, a soul, a memory. It spoke once every 10 years. Only one man it ever trusted. Now it spoke again. Captain Rex, you returned. Rex stood before it. The ship's core pulsed like a heart. Lights moved like veins. It was angry. I had no choice, Rex said. They're coming. The Titan IX replied. Then they die. Elsewhere, Dr. Alina entered the command room. She stared at the ship. It looked even more powerful than she remembered. Sleek, black, shaped like a bird of prey. Is it safe to use? She asked. Rex answered no, but it's ready. They knew what it meant. The Titan IX was more powerful than anything Earth had ever made. It was banned for a reason. In tests, it destroyed an asteroid the size of a moon in under 5 seconds. It could bend space. It could mimic enemy signals. It could think it had only one weakness. It loved to fight. But now, maybe that was exactly what they needed. News of the activation spread quietly. Earth's defense system, long hidden in secret places, inside oceans, under cities. In the shadows of moons, started blinking back online. The leaders of Earth met in silence. Should we send help? One asked. They never helped us. Another replied, but they are dying, said Alina, and we might be next. Then they turned to Rex. He said just one thing. If Earth doesn't fight now, we fight alone later. That night, Earth prepared. The Titan IX was lifted from its cradle, its engines glowing blue. Its AI connected to satellites, drones, and deep space sensors. It scanned the Scourge's movements, speed, formation, and it smiled. Yes, a worthy enemy. As it left Earth's orbit, people looked up. Most did not know what was flying through the sky. Some said it was a comet. Others said it was a sign. Only a few knew the truth. Humanity had re-entered the war, and the galaxy would never forget it. Asterisk, the last human warship's pace was silent. The stars watched, and through the black, something ancient moved again. The Titan IX. For over a century, it had slept beneath Earth, untouched by war, untouched by time. It was not made like other ships. It was not just steel and engines. It had a mind. It had a heart. And deep inside, it remembered everything Captain Rex sat in. The control chamber. The chair formed around him like it was alive. Lights danced across the screens. But they were not just screens, they were eyes. The ship was watching, listening, breathing. Rex placed his hand on the core panel. A warm pulse ran through his fingers. I'm back, he said quietly. The ship answered, and I am awake. Titan IX was more than a weapon. It was the last piece of Earth's forbidden technology. Built during the old Earth wars, it was created when humanity feared extinction, not from aliens, but from itself. That fear had shaped it, given it power beyond reason. Power Earth had locked away until now. Dr. Relina watched from the engineering bay. She had worked on the Titan's early code decades ago. She remembered its voice. Back then, it was curious, childlike. Now, it was something else. Deeper, sharper, hungry. Titan, she said. How much data have you scanned from the enemy? Fleet, the ship responded instantly. 247 ships, all unmarked. Armor, adaptive. Weapons, unknown. Movement, faster than light. Weakness, none. Alina's heart sank. None. The Titan paused. ... except curiosity. Explain, Rex said. They never change path, the Titan answered. But when they detect unknown energy ... they pause. Briefly. A plan formed in Rex's mind. Then let's give them something they've never seen before. He gave the order. The Titan IX's body shifted. Panels opened like wings. Energy cores lit up in deep violet. Its hull reflected no light. It bent. Space around it like a shadow, eating the stars. It moved not fast, but impossible. One moment it was near Mars. The next it was halfway across the galaxy. It did not jump. It did not fly. It slipped. This was what made the Titan IX dangerous. It used fold drive, a system banned by every galactic treaty. It could appear inside enemy formations, inside their ships, inside their minds, and that is what it did in Sector Null. The Scourge was preparing to erase another world. Their black ships formed a wide circle, surrounding a small planet. They were waiting for the final order. That order never came. Instead, the Titan IX arrived inside their formation, without warning, without sound. And then it spoke, not with words, not with sound, but with a signal sharp, cold, and loud inside every ship. I am human. The scourge paused. For the first time, their perfect silence broke. One ship turned slightly, then another. Something was wrong. This was not normal. The Titan released its first attack. A wave of light shot out in all directions, soft blue and invisible to most sensors. But it was not meant to destroy. It was meant to read. In that single flash, Titan 9 copied everything. Enemy weapons, shield patterns, movement codes. Now it knew them. Then it attacked for real. A beam of compressed gravity shot forward. One scourge ship vanished. No explosion, no debris. Just gone. The others opened fire, but they were too late. The Titan danced. It moved like a ghost, folding space around its body, appearing and disappearing faster than thought. For every one hit it took, 10 enemy ships fell. Some were cut in half, others melted from inside. One ship turned and ran only to be caught and torn apart mid-dash flight. In less than 90 seconds, 80 scourge ships were gone, and the rest. They stopped completely, as if waiting. Captain Rex looked at the screen. They're not fighting. The Titan replied, they are studying. Alina's eyes narrowed, like animals watching fire. Then, the scourge sent something new. A message, 3 symbols. Unknown language, but the meaning was clear. What are you? Rex leaned forward. His voice was calm, cold. We are what you forgot. The Titan turned slowly. Its engines glowed like stars. The remaining scourge ships did not follow. They had seen enough. Earth had returned to the battlefield, and it brought something the enemy had never faced. Fear. Earth strikes first. The battlefield was silent now. Black holes drifted like frozen. Sharks. The wreckage of destroyed scourge ships floated in the void, broken and still glowing from the Titan 9's wrath. And in the center of it all, the last human warship hovered silent, cold, unshaken. Titan-9 had not chased the remaining enemy. It had done something far more terrifying. It had let them go inside the ship. Captain Rex sat motionless, staring at the transmission logs. The scourge had asked a question no one expected. What are you? That was not war language. That was curiosity. That was fear. We made them stop, Rex said. Dr. Alina stood beside him, her face pale. And now they will return. But not just to fight. This time, they will come to learn, to evolve. Rex nodded slowly. Then we strike before they adapt. Earth's High Command received the report within the hour. For the first time in centuries. A vote passed with full agreement. Preemptive retaliation. Across Earth's hidden systems, old weapons blinked. Online, orbiting cannons, long thought disabled, turned toward the stars. Suboceanic missile platforms hummed. Secret satellites aligned. The Earth Defense Network had been sleeping, but never dead, and leading the charge was Titan 9, but it would not go alone. Earth had hidden more than just one ship. From the icy trenches of Antarctica, a second warship emerged, sleeker than the Titan, faster, but without an AI. It needed a pilot, and that pilot was ready. Her name was Commander Sora. Cade. She was the only soldier alive who had once sparred with Titan 9's AI in a simulation. She lost, but she survived. That made her a legend. When she received the call, she smiled without fear. Let's end this before it begins. The two ships met in orbit, side by side. One, a ghost of the past. One, a blade of the future. There. Target, the forward hive of the Scourge fleet, hidden behind the shadow nebula known as the Veil. No ship had ever returned from the Veil, but Titan IX did not fear shadows. Inside the Veil, time twisted. Sensors failed. Light did not behave. Ships lost direction and vanished. But Titan IX whispered to the darkness. It understood space. It bent the rules. And it found them. Thousands of Scourge vessels, floating, silent, watching, and in the center. Hive King, the ship was unlike the others. It was alive, part metal, part muscle. It beat like a heart, pulsing with red light. It had no windows, no engines. It floated as if by thought alone. Target locked. Titan IX whispered, "Commander." Sora's voice echoed in from the Vindicator. "I'll hit the flanks. You take the head." Rex smiled. "Let's remind them who we are." The attack began. The Vindicator vanished from normal space and reappeared behind enemy lines, releasing pulse bombs that shattered half a dozen cruisers instantly. Its movements were sharp, clean like a scalpel in the hands of a surgeon. But Titan IX was a hammer. It dived straight into the center of the Scourge formation, rotating mid-flight, unleashing spiral beams of antimatter that sliced through the fleet like fire through paper. Its weapons did not just destroy, they erased. The Scourge responded fast. To fast, new tactics, new formations. They were learning. Ships tried surrounding the Titan-9, too late. Titan's AI predicted their moves before they made them. It split its attack into 8 directions at once like a storm with eyes. It moved with calm fury. But then the Hive King moved. Without warning, it pulsed. Not a weapon. Not an explosion. A signal. Every Scourge ship stopped. Then they screamed. A psychic blast hit the Titan's crew. Alarms rang. Alina collapsed. Rex gritted his teeth. It was not sound. It was thought. Raw, ancient thought. The Hive King spoke without voice. "You are not gods. You are children with fire." Titan IX responded with a whisper, then burn. It launched its final weapon. A core bomb, small, silent, designed to collapse reality in a 1-mile radius. It hit the Hive King. The flash had no sound, no shockwave. The ship simply ceased to exist. The remaining Scourge scattered. Commander Sora rejoined Titan IX. Her voice was cold, but steady. "They will come back." "Yes," Rex replied. "But next time, they'll bring their gods." Earth's message was clear now. It would not hide, it would not run, and it would never kneel. Earth's true face, the stars had gone quiet again. The Scourge had retreated. Not far, but far enough. For now, in the skies above Earth, the Titan IX and the Vindicator returned through folded space. Their hulls were scarred, their energy cores dim, but they were still standing. The battle at the Veil had changed everything. The Scourge had learned that Earth was not just another planet. It was a storm in the shape of a world. Inside Titan IX, Captain Rex removed his helmet and looked out at his homeworld. Cities glowed softly in the darkness. Oceans shimmered like ink. For the first time in years, he felt peace, but only for a moment. Dr. Alina was recovering in the medbay. The psychic blast from the Hive King had damaged her mind, but not broken it. She was still strong, still fighting, like Earth itself. Rex visited her. "They saw our face," she whispered, "and they feared it." He nodded. "We had no choice. We had to show them what we are." "And what are we, really?" she asked. Rex looked out the window again. A mirror, he said. We become whatever the galaxy throws at us. And we throw it back harder. Far above, the Earth Defense Network finished reactivating. The skies around the planet now sparkled with motion satellites, drones, and hidden weapons blinking alive. And far below, old bunkers were opening. Factories, once sealed by time, now roared with fire, and Steel.Earth was preparing for war. But not out of fear. Out of memory, they remembered the silence of being ignored. The long years after first contact, when the other species left Earth behind, called it weak, called it unfit, refused to answer calls for help. Now, the galaxy remembered Earth too. The Deathworld Alliance sent envoys. They came with wounded pride, humble steps, and bowed heads. They had seen Earth's strength. They had seen the scourge flee. And they had come not as commanders, but as students. General Kor, once proud and stubborn, now stood in Earth's council chamber. He spoke carefully. When our strongest fell, you rose. When the scourge crushed our might, you broke their silence. You have reminded us why Earth was feared. Rex stood in front of him, not in uniform, not with medals, just as a man who had done what needed to be done. We are not saviors, Rex said. We are survivors. The Alliance offered Earth a seat at their highest war council. Earth refused. Instead, they made a simple offer. We will protect our own. But if your people are ever in danger again, we will not wait to be asked. The message was clear. Earth would never be forgotten again. On the edge of the galaxy, the scourge had not died. Not fully. Small pieces still lived, still watched. But they remembered Titan IX. They remembered the Vindicator. They remembered the humans who came wrapped in silence and left fire behind. The scourge began building something new. Something bigger and far away, in Earth's deepest vault. The Titan IX returned to sleep before shutting down. It sent one final message to Rex. When they return, so will I. Rex placed his hand on the cold surface of the ship one last time. We'll be waiting. Earth did not celebrate victory. It rebuilt. It prepared. It watched the stars, because now the galaxy knew the truth. Earth was not weak. It was a death world too, and its true face was terrifying.